This is Happy Life Coach, and today we talk about big business support, bigger business support. Totally different world than a smaller business. Smaller business is very personal, a lot of emotion involved. Bigger business is more like power, money, systems. So it's a totally different world. With systems, we have to control things. We still like this management as personal as possible, and it's sometimes difficult, and it gives problems. Decisions have to be made, and that's not easy. So you always can connect with me for support, decision support, mental support. That's where we're here for. And what problems are there? Well, depends a little bit. It's a family business or it is a normal business, because there's a huge difference between family business. I love family business. They thinking long term, mid-term, and not only about profits today, this year. There's a huge difference there. And I'm not talking about that super big multinationals, because that is such a different world that I don't even want to be in there. Okay? It's only about money. And that's not my world. So I can't give advice to that kind of people. I can't be to support that kind of people, because it's a different kind of people. But normal big business, and say businesses from 30, 40 up to 200, 300. When you're on that level, it is not easy to control. And it is not easy to bring the message to the staff, what you want to bring, what you want to say. It becomes challenging. And sometimes, without that you hardly know, things are not going well. An accountant comes with a number and you think, this is worse than I thought. What to do about that? Now, with who do you share that? With who? That is often the problem. Now, when you're a little bigger and you have a shareholders team, there you can often discuss things and say exactly what you think. But even there is often competition among each other. So that's not easy. So with who do you talk, brainstorm, exchange information without that it starts leaking all around? You don't want that. And so that is not easy. I managed several times bigger companies. I managed a lot of companies, small, with 30 staff members up to 300 staff members. And that is not easy. Absolutely not. And it's with who can you talk? Often it is a very lonely position. Very lonely. That's not easy. Absolutely not. It affects your life, how you feel, stress, and positive stress, exciting stress, innovative stress, and we're going to do this, and ideas, fantastic. And I'm here to talk these things over with you, that also in a hype, things not going totally through the roof. Yeah? You have to be careful with that. I know companies that you say, well, they're ready to fall down because the business is exploding, but the customer service is really, really on a 20%, 30% level. I know companies who answer clients never or after 3-4 weeks. Ridiculous. Really ridiculous. Then you have to stop growing. You have to let the whole company catch up. And you say, yeah, but this is the moment, and there's the greed. Greed is never good. Never. Never. It's a very bad guide. Greed. And yes, people became billionaire with it, with greed and power. For me, it means nothing. For me, it's all very poor people. Because when that is their life, wanting to control everything, wanting to control the world, you name it, nonsense. So we're coming back to simply normal big business, and yes, there is competition in the top, especially when there is a management team and the owners are above that, and the owners are not directly involved with operation, and they trust on the team, and then you have there the competition from several people. They all want to be in the top, and before you know, you exchange information that goes right away to the owners, and before you know, they have a conclusion which is far from reality. You have to be careful with that. And you have banks and finances and financial partners, all these things. And then you need time with all that to be creative. And creative happens only when you're relaxed. And I mean relaxed in a way, not that you sit and do nothing. Like I'm sitting here relaxed, but I'm working, right? So, and creative and positive. Now, that's what you need. You need that time to build up ideas. But then it is, with who do you share that? With who do you share the ideas, solutions, issues, with who? Therefore, is a life coach. And I'm a business consult for many years, but I see it now more holistic. And that is simply out of the reality. Often things are not going well because management is not well. They're simply not well. They're not okay. They have the wrong lifestyle. They don't take care of themselves. They're unhappy. You name it. They don't eat well. They don't drink well, and often too much from the wrong things. And that affects body with all kind of sickness, and that comes for sure more when you above 40 and 50 and 60. Yeah, and that is that management level, that age. It's rare to become the CEO with 25 years, okay? Or the business manager. That is, it becomes a little bit when you're a little bit older, with a little bit more experience. And then also you receive the results of unhealthy living. And that unhealthy living affects your body and your mind. You don't have patience because you want to have it quickly done, because it irritates you, and you're tired. And yeah, and that's only one example. How does that affect the business? Oh, big time. You get like secretaries say, well, it's not his mood today. Yeah, that's not good. And why? Because you're often in a lonely position. And that lonely position, what to do? Don't bother me with all these little details. I need my time to talk and to think about it. And then because of the situation, everything circles in your mind. And it's the same circle with that same information. You have these conversations with yourself. We all do that, right? Yeah? And some even do it loud. You hear them when they're sitting somewhere and you hear them talking. With who do you talk? Well, they're talking with themselves. Most do it inside the head, and that's a communication. What to do, how can I do this, suppose I do this, etc., etc. But you're still in that circle, especially when you're in the stress. That circle becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And also the patience and the energy. It eats energy when that here inside goes in circles. And you don't have an escape. You don't have creativity enough. You don't find solutions. It's too much problems. Family in the business, shareholders doing difficult, a bank that makes you crazy. All these things, and you can't show it to the staff. You have to be careful with management, because before you know it spreads around, and that can be the final for your business. Well, it's actually not going bad, because every business goes a little bit like this. Yeah, I always say it's like the stock exchange. This, but as long it goes like this, right, and not that it goes like this. Now, and that is sometimes so difficult to see for management, and that is so strange. I'm looking to the time. That is so strange. I see management that is surprised about their own numbers, and then I have something like, how does that work? I mean, I saw daily numbers, daily totals, daily profits, weekly, monthly, see it constantly. But you need time for that. You need to make time for that. To keep an eye on the percentages in your business. Is everything going well? Or are things disappearing here or there? Yeah, in hotel business, before the chicken arrives, and when it arrives, and when it's made, and all these steps, it can walk away. I had it myself, yeah, and 20 pounds on a day was nothing. So and then you say like, okay. And when you have a construction company or connected to those things, with all these little things, yeah, you have business with a lot of little things what you sell. It disappears like that, and you have to have control on that. You have to calculate that in the business. But okay, numbers can surprise management, and that surprises me sometimes. But when it surprises you, then it's like, okay, and what now? And how do you adapt to it? Now, a lot of time is right away cutting the cost. Cutting the cost means staff out. That is costly, staff. And that is often absolutely not the decision. To be honestly, in 30 years managing, 35 years managing, all kind of resorts, online businesses, etc., whatever, they came to me with, can you support us, can you help us for a short time, longer time, can you check our business out, and then it becomes like, can you solve that for us, and can you take over management temporary, etc. In all that time, I didn't fire people. Often after a half year, I hired more. And why? Because often it's so simple. I see companies that I want to buy something from, and I get hardly answers, I get lousy answers, I get half answers. People are not capable to answer a WhatsApp or an email, and I'm not even talking about a time frame. I had with a friend, and we talked about that. He tried to do something in crypto, and we tried to communicate with customer service, and we had questions. Now, some never answer. Some you can see that's a copy-paste, answers not half the question. They don't read well, they're not well educated. They get probably a lot of emails, yeah. But when you take the time to answer your emails from your customers well, and your WhatsApp, it creates business. I had really that I contacted companies by WhatsApp 5, 6, 7 times, and I still didn't get the answer that I asked for by phone. Can I talk with the manager? And then I told them straight, I have a simple question, and I try to get it answered now for 3 weeks, and I don't get it answered. And then the manager said, what was the question? This and this. And he goes on his computer and he says, it's that and that. I said, great, so you can do it. Yeah. Can I have it? Yeah. Good. And then he's asking, why didn't they answer? He said, I don't know. It looks like they're not interested. And he was for sure not aware of it. And this guy was a great service person. He only wanted to have his clients happy. I felt that right away. But when you don't know what is going on in your sales and your marketing department, you can put a lot of money in marketing, but when the reactions are handled like that, it goes wrong with business. And a lot don't know. They don't know what's really happening on the floor. Because when they walk over the floor, oh, everything goes perfect. They're all on the phone. They're all answering emails. And gone. So you need good middle management, yeah, to handle it. And numbers, I did a lot of numbers. I made a lot of business plans, for sure a couple of hundred. And I checked even more business plans. And the fake ones and the dishonest ones and the disastrous ones and the very good ones and the unique ones. I mean, really with ideas, and then you make the calculation, say, wow, this is impressive, what an idea, what good. And so I analyze it a lot of time for business. They come with like, Gerardo, what do you think about this and that? And I check it out and I give my short opinion. And when I want to give a good opinion, I often have to visit the company. To see really what's going on. Be there 1 week and talk with people, look around. Simply look around and see what's going on and what the ambience is. How is the ambience in the business? Is it friendly, positive, creative, good teamwork, etc., etc.? Or is there a management where I know one that was in San Jose, Costa Rica, and he walked with a baseball bat over the call center. I looked at him and I said, I hope you don't use that. He says, well, I'm thinking about it. You know, that all people heard. I tell you, half of the staff was afraid of him. Now, if that is positive management, it's a disaster. And I told him straight, can you please stop with that? Yeah, people don't work well when they have fear. People work well when they feel happy. But then you have to control the happiness a little bit, that it doesn't come a party, right? So, okay, and what I can do, I can support on every level in bigger business, be the brainstormer with you, and the sounding board that you can communicate and analyze together. We can do that. All right? So this is Happy Life Coach, and we are there for you, also for the bigger business, because I know that very well. Thank you.